what's about to happen. Oh my gosh, the pirate ship! Like, they've never needed to go this hard and always go this hard. Hello, Claire Bears. It's Elsie. Welcome to my channel. If you are new and if you're returning, welcome back. We have yet another ATEEZ comeback on our hands here, now more than 2 years after I got my start on my channel doing ATEEZ reactions, which is wild to think about, with the final installment of the World series, which is the World EP.FIN Will. And I was surprised when I first heard about this that it wasn't EP.FIN 3 and that this was going to be the final installment, which maybe has to do with the fact that there's a lot of alluding to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, therefore making the World series into a trilogy. I don't know. But alas, here we are with EP.FIN, and we also have subunits. I've been saying for forever now that there should be ATEEZ solo songs, and this is not quite solo songs, but I will take it. I will take it 1000%. So I cannot wait to hear what those sound like, especially knowing that the members contributed to the writing of their respective songs. And then finally, how is the lore of Universe Z going to potentially close out? I feel like, knowing ATEEZ, no doors are going to be closed. It's really just ending this chapter. And I refreshed myself on the ATEEZ lore while I put my disguise on earlier. So thank you to the many people smarter than me who have deciphered the storyline. So I am ready. Let's get into the video. But before we do, please don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to my channel. Oh man, this sign looks not great. I had no other way of making it fit unless I had done like the on the top and then World EP and then Fin Will. But that kind of like splits it. Anyways, today's beverage of the day is some sparkling rosé. Oh, that's vinegary. This has been open for like a week. All right, so as usual, we're gonna get started here by watching the trailer for the World EP.FIN Will. I really have no idea what to expect for the concept of this album because the concept photos were just so wide-ranging, because seemingly we had ninjas on Mars, and then we had royalty on the moon, and then fuzzy spider wranglers in I don't know where. So I'm truly perplexed. But if I know anything about ATEEZ, they're going to show off their acting chops. It's going to be cinematic. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be something that I wish was a whole movie. But let's watch and see what's in store for this album. Missed this intro. Oh, Prestige Academy, and it's black and white. Interesting. Ooh. The top. I love this look. The sheer sleeves and like the snake skin, or maybe alligator skin. Feels very Nirvana-y, this instrumental. Oh, does he still have the cowboy hat on? So it's potentially like right. Right where we left off. Ooh. The intensity. Ooh, we got our Prestige Academy folks. Oh my goodness, how could you not follow Hongjun? Oh my goodness. That really built up the hype for the album. I have chills now. But this is interesting because it seems like there's almost a mix between both EP 1 and 2. For example, you know, all of these different screens and surveillance that's happening. Like, I think this was Yoonho's role in EP.FIN 1, right? In the gorilla music video. But then seemingly Mingi, his part is from right where we left off. And what looks like almost maybe military police or police of some kind sitting down, and Jongho's here. I'm wondering if he's reprised his role as an undercover cop. Regardless, he looks very dapper in that suit, and Yosong was making his delivery, but seemingly one of those hooded figures is being carried away. So did something go wrong in the plan? Because it seems like Mingi was watching and maybe he looked annoyed or disappointed, and then that's when he like turns the car on. But then San and Seonghwa roll up and are seemingly watching what's going on. So I'm so confused. And then what is unfolding with Hongjoong at Prestige Academy? So many questions. I'm excited to find out, and it's so cool that they put in this extra effort to these trailers and just continuously expanding and expanding this lore. Like, they've never needed to go this hard and always go this hard. So let's start with our first song here now, which is We Know. And I had to change the color of my lights here because the blue was causing this weird ripply thing to happen. So with We Know, to get us started, what is it that they know? What wisdom are they going to impart on us? Whatever it is, I'm ready to find out. So let's get started with We Know. Almost sounds like 80s-ish. Ooh. Oh, it has a very like epic sound to it. Ooh, a cowardly smile. Oh, that melody. You know, with the vocals here. Ooh, those deep vocals. I wasn't expecting it to go deep like that. Oh my goodness, you're bound by fear when you see my face. That's wild. ATEEZ coming in hot with the intimidation. In the murky dawn growling, awakening all, I'm the morning. Dominating, I control it. The pitch black darkness now keeps falling. And Wooyoung sending this one rough warning. And San saying, I'm chasing after you. I know, coming after you. Instantly my mind went to that gif of Jimin running away, being like, oh no, he's gonna catch me. San chasing after you would not be the worst thing in the world, but targeting your heart, constricting your breath, that sounds less pleasant. But I don't think they're talking about us here, about H&E. They're talking about, I feel like, this government and their enemies that they're facing. So let's keep going. Gotta love a good Yosong deep vocal. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get on their bad side. Ooh. Oh. Oh my gosh, continuing the intimidation here. So nice to hear more Wooyoung vocals. I'm so excited for the subunits. This is so catchy. I feel like it's gonna be easy to get stuck in your head. Oh my goodness. Somehow he always just raises the bar, Jongho, with his vocals. Oh. Oh my gosh, that was just like an assault in the best way, like an assault that I actually want. So if their goal was to just bring the absolute fire to start this album, they've succeeded. And I feel like we got some classic Hongjoong and Mingi raps in this, where in Hongjoong's rap, it feels like he's stalking his prey. I'm keeping my distance, not catching you unaware, not neglecting, but observing, timing, waiting for the right moment. You don't know my type, you don't know my mind, like keeping you guessing, but I know what you want. Absolutely won't fall for it. It's just like, whew, it's kind of haunting, you know? But then Mingi's saying, in reality, someone's targeted in the bullseye, distorting the blatantly visible truth. Why seek judgment? Between the loud curses, the fluctuating false world, inevitably dyed in red, petals and pitiful self. In a way, it almost feels like Hongjoong's really taking his time, but Mingi is just like ready to take down a motherfucker. They're ready to bring their enemies to justice here in this last chapter. You better run, hide and seek, coming close on you that I gotcha. Then breaking free the chains that bound me makes me think of like Halazia, restoring the world to its rightful order, deploying to take the shot. All around me is my enemy. Like they are ready. No false pretenses. Be careful. My mic is on. So in a way, like his microphone is his weapon. They always just do such an amazing job building this rich story around their music with their lyrics and matching the instrumental with it too, in terms of just like, again, it felt hammering in terms of its intensity of delivering that message of like, we're coming, we're going to get you, we have firepower behind us. So now with Emergency, which is our next song, are they going to put their plan into action here? They certainly look very regal and powerful in these pictures here. So let's listen to Emergency. That beat. Open the chaotic ballroom. Ooh. It's interesting that they have a party song. Oh. I'm wondering if this is like more about the perils of drinking and partying than actually drinking and partying. Like, for example, with Yoonho's line about everything in this world is boring, I'll ruin it all. Like, their enjoyment of everything is actually ruining things. And they're a choir of problem kids, according to Wooyoung. But then despite this, there's these lines, who's gonna play, who's got my back? Like, seemingly being in this world as a problem kid, you can't trust anybody. So are they drinking to try to forget that, or is it the other way around, of that lifestyle is causing people not to trust them? Or is it just like they perpetually fuel one another? But in a way, it kind of seems like, based on Mingi's rap, that maybe they're stuck in that life, because I can't go back. I haven't gone back. A life like the secular world. When will my status like emergency disappear? So is emergency here talking about almost like the dangers of this lifestyle and the danger of losing their identity, with Hongjoong's rap talking about even I don't know myself, stranger. Yeah, it's an interesting commentary that they're making here. But okay, I don't quite remember where I stopped, but I think it was around here. And this almost like party beat really ramps up that message of like, you can just get sucked into it. Because I'm trying not to dance and I can't not. Ooh. I'm getting sucked in, you know? They're convincing me about this danger. But I really like those low Jongho vocals. As much as the Jongho high note is great, I like those like slow, deeper vocals. Yeah, that's an interesting one, because on the surface it could feel like just another party song, but they're saying so much more here, clearly. Don't stop our tonight, fill it with the sound of cheers. Yeah, one more, don't rest, go ahead. One more ball, roll it mercilessly. The explosive starting point, the longing that was earnestly desired. Gazing at the light that was admired, drink up one more. Like with this title of Emergency, it just feels like this can't end well. There has to be some kind of limit. But that's the thing when it comes to, you know, drinking or any type of substance use, where it could seem like on the surface, like, this is so much fun, this is the best, but under the surface, if you're turning to alcohol or any other substance, it's out of reliance or trying to cover something up or fill some sort of gap. Then obviously there's something much more problematic going on, she says as she takes a sip of wine. But I'd had 3 glasses of wine this whole week. I drink in moderation. But, you know, kudos to them for having this attitude. I feel like when you live the lifestyle of an idol, it could be really easy to kind of give in to temptation and the spoils that the life of, you know, riches and fame has to offer. So yes, they're definitely real ones for that. But I think now is the time to go to our title track and music video here, which is Crazy Form. And I have to admit, the first time I saw this, I thought it said Crazy Frog. And I was just like, are they doing a Crazy Frog cover? And where we left off previously on Universe Z, ATEEZ had seemingly infiltrated the Prestige Academy to take down the evil mind control that was going on within the government. And they had some, you know, fake mind control devices of their own. But at the end of the bouncy music video, seemingly ATEEZ hadn't really won the war yet and the government was still after them. So how is this all going to play out? In terms of the pantheon of ATEEZ title tracks, I'm really curious to see where Crazy Form falls, because with the World Series, Gorilla, our first title track, my favorite ATEEZ title track, period. But then I honestly think Bouncy might be one of my least favorite ATEEZ title tracks, which is kind of wild to say because I still like it and it definitely grew on me since I first heard it. But we have in this series my favorite ATEEZ title track and probably my least favorite title track. So where is Crazy Form going to fall? And by the way, I've been thinking about doing like an ATEEZ title track tier ranking type of video. So if you'd be interested in something like that, let me know. I'm ready. Oh. Oh yes. This is how the last bouncy ended.
Get up.
9024. Ooh. It's kind of like slower and more subdued. Oh my gosh. Okay, no, I have to go back and listen to that. I love the red hair on Sam. Ooh. Huh. Bringing back that bar scene from Bouncy. I love Uyeon's acting. Oh. Ooh. I love that androgynous look. And the Halazia hats. So cool. Ooh. And I have to say, I really like that Crazy Form is a bit more on the understated side compared to Gorilla and Bouncy, and that they're not like at 1,000 with the production level, you know? But like, what is this 9024? Like, what does that represent?
A few moments later.
Oh my gosh, I just found this tweet where on your phone 9024 builds the ATEEZ symbol. Oh my gosh, that's so clever. But yes, I just wanted to mention that before we keep going, and I forgot. And all these looks. That booty shake. Ooh, Black Pride. Words. The Black Pirates break into the lounge. Okay. Ooh. It's reminiscent of Gorilla. I love the sassiness in this. It does like feel a lot like Bouncy in that way. And there's kind of like a Afro beat to it. Oh, Jongo. And Miggy in the back. Oh. What's about to happen? Oh my gosh, the pirate ship. What? Ooh. I like that the energy did pick up though, as much as I was talking about how I liked it being subdued. Oh. Oh my goodness. And now are we gonna get our teaser? The Cromer. It's broken. And the bluebird. Oh my goodness. So many callbacks. I have no words. And there's just so much that happened, so much here to unpack, which I'm gonna have to do later because I have dinner plans. In typical LC fashion, it took way too long for me to get my butt moving today. But some initial thoughts before I go and unpack some of the lyrics and some of what we just saw was, I think I would put this in the middle for me between Gorilla and Bouncy, at least on first listen. I like that it had a slightly different flavor than what we're used to from an ATEEZ song, but it still felt like ATEEZ. All the lore callbacks made me happy. We have the return of the pirate ship. The cheeky sand middle finger made me happy. The Seonghwa thrusting and Wooyoung booty shaking made me happy. It's just like, what's not to love with this? So I'll be back shortly for a proper unpack.
2 hours later.
It's been about 3 hours for me since I last watched the video, so I watched it again off camera and I took a whole bunch of notes. But it's so interesting because I feel like I have more questions than I have answers after watching this, and part of me feels like this isn't the end, where it's kind of like another heist and doesn't quite feel like a conclusion. So part of me is wondering if this is going to continue into a new series, or maybe there's going to be some kind of different ending to it, with the pirate ship in the sky and the chromer being broken and the bluebird flying away. I don't know, feels like there's more to the story. And I also feel like just everybody brought it in this music video, and there's no one person who stood out to me. They all stood out in their own ways for different reasons. It doesn't feel like anybody in particular owned this comeback for me. Like, Mingi is definitely giving with this Halazia meets Bouncy hat. Yoonho just like absolutely killing it with the vocals, and his partnership with Wooyoung in this was really fun. Freckled Wooyoung and his acting in this, just like with Bouncy, I feel like he could get into acting after this, and him just throwing it back in our faces, like truly iconic behavior. I absolutely adore the mob boss energy from Jongho. Androgynous Steven Tyler, Seonghwa, we need to talk about this. Steven Tyler with the handkerchief on the microphone, but also kind of Prince with the sleeves, just absolutely dominating this crowd. And I just realized that these look like the speakers from Halazia. I love how much fun Hongjoong seems like he's having in this. The rebellious captain vibe is suiting him well, but he feels like a decoy in this. And I couldn't believe watching it back that I fully just did not notice the first time that he got fully hit by a car. The first time I was just thinking, oh, like comic book style, cool, but didn't question the fact that him getting hit by the car was what triggered this. And it's interesting because I didn't take any notes about any of the lyrics until the very end of just for this moment, we're changing the game. And it really is true, just because of the amazing work and effort that goes into every single concept, every single album. This balance that they've somehow managed to strike between being cheeky yet serious at the same time. I just feel like they're innovators in the K-pop space, which is why they've become and how they've become my alt group. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what is in store for them in the future. But let's move on now to our next song, which is ARRIBA. But let's move on to our next song now, which is ARRIBA, which I kind of always just assumed what the meaning was in Spanish, but I feel like I should probably actually look it up. So it is an exclamation of pleasure or approval. So is this going to be kind of like another party song, another fun song? It feels weird to be saying that about ATEEZ, because I feel like, especially with the World 1 and 2, other than Bouncy, everything was like very serious. Also, I had some wine at the restaurant, so I decided I was not gonna have yet another glass. After listening to Emergency, I feel like they'd judge me hard if I was on my third glass of wine. So now I have some strawberry citrus sparkling water, which I almost just spilled on myself. So let's listen to ARRIBA. Kind of quirky. Oh, this is an interesting instrumental. Oh, it's like a 3/4. Oh my gosh, it took me a second. I was just like, what is the rhythm of this? But I realized it's like a 3/4 rhythm. It took me long enough. Like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh. This was cool. They're like I like that we're getting more dynamic. Sorry, just a second. I like that we're getting more dynamics with Jongho's vocals on this album, with some of those lower notes in, I think 2 songs ago, maybe it was Emergency, and then now in this, we got these more softer, subdued vocals from Jongho. But yeah, so let's rewind just a touch. Dirty Night. What is this dirty night they're talking about? Huh. Ooh. That was a different rap from Mingi, saying, "Oh guys, that was really fun. I'll give it a try. We have to have fun, you know?" But yeah, it really does feel like they're having a lot more fun on this album. And that was maybe like the most playful Mingi rap I've ever heard. My nose is getting longer like Pinocchio, it stretches. Wandering down the street of dreamers, twinkle, twinkle, it's shining bright. Moving all over the place, that's Picasso, shoulder to shoulder with Salvador. Blood, blood spreading up and down. Let's go, friend, good vibes. I guess for Mingi, blood and good vibes go hand in hand. But at the same time, based on some of the previous lyrics, it does feel like some of it might be starting to catch up with them. But with lines like, the moment feels like eternity, dance in madness, and a hurricane of indulgence, like madness, hurricane, none of this sounds safe. Oh my gosh, that was the most mom-coded comment. Be careful, boys. But you know, I want them to tell me more about this dirty night they speak of. I need details. But yes, I know that a Hongjoong rap is coming here, so let's hear what he has to say. This is more melodic from him this time. Oh, I love this part. The like breaths as percussion. It feels like a late 90s, early 2000s R&B song in that sense. Ooh. Yes, more of these soft Jongho vocals. And it's cool that they have these different like world influences on the album, you know? Crazy Form being like an Afrobeat song, and then this having like a oh my gosh, I just realized something. The world, like world influences, and then the series is called The World. That might just be a coincidence, but and I'm curious if this is where their music, like the direction of their music is going to go in the future, of having these different influences. But I want to hear what sounded like a little ditty at the end. This is like so interesting, these songs. I feel like so many of these songs are tracks we haven't heard from ATEEZ before. And it's fun to hear them experiment and try new things. Because like, imagine how fun these songs would be in concert, and I'm having fun seeing them have more fun with their music. And imagine what the choreography would be like for this. I fear it would be Cyberpunk 2.0. None of us are ready. And I also feel just how different this song is based on the tempo, the time signature, that not only would the choreography be really fun, but it would also probably be really different, because there's so many challenges with choreography that both the tempo and the time signature would present. But obviously it's a challenge that they could rise to. And yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun. This is fun. I hope you're having fun. I am. But we're gonna move on now to Silver Light. So what could this silver light represent? Is it something more like positive and hopeful? I hope so. This dystopian world that they've been living in, they deserve a little bit of hope, don't you think? So let's listen to Silver Light. Ooh. His vocals there. Feels very 80s. Kind of Tron-y. Silver Light of Hope. Oh. Singer Mingy. Ooh. Kind of like weekendy. So many interesting melodies on this album. Ooh. I like the slightly syncopated riff. Ooh, oh, this song is so epic. And I feel like Sam's voice is so well suited to this genre. And there's so many parts where I feel like, you know, in your song's voices sound the same when they get into that deeper register, because I cannot tell the difference between the two of them. My savior I found at the end of my despair. Oh! Oh, I love this beat. This might be my favorite so far. I just love this hopeful vibe to it. Even though this is in a minor key, I think. Which normally is like more associated with sadder songs. Oh, yes. This was so good. And kind of like if Cyberpunk and Take Me Home had a hopeful baby. And after this, burden that they've been carrying of saving the world, it is nice to talk about them having a savior that they've waited for, that silver light of hope, and that it shines on them, piercing through the darkness. Because as much as I feel like we can all relate as ATEEZ to the songs where they're talking about more of these feelings of hopelessness and that we've all been there and that we can connect with them in that sense, it's also good to have these more hopeful, positive songs to remind us in the hopeless feeling that we can always have sometimes, that there is that silver light, that feeling of hope that still exists. And I imagine it must be a difficult burden for them to carry, not just in this, theoretical world, but also in the real world when there's such a huge fandom who looks to you for inspiration, for a safe place. That must be really hard. It's a huge responsibility. So I'm glad that they feel like this silver light exists for them. And I feel like that's kind of reflected in Hongjoong's rap of a light like light in my world that was dark. This is the last chance maybe. They say there's no way to die, the cause of the last breath. Whether I wanted or didn't want it, this is my life. And in the time you'd or one would lament, I'm going, leaving, here is the last man standing. And even if I go blind staring into this light, it's worth it because I've been waiting for it for so long. And as much as it can be a burden and a difficult job, I also hope that they feel like ATEEZ can be their shining light and that we can give them hope. But okay, I think my last song for now, because one, it's past my bedtime, and two, my computer's almost out of space, is Crescent Part 2, because it seems like this is an interlude type of song. And I couldn't find a lyric video, so I have a feeling that this is likely an instrumental. And we all know that an ATEEZ instrumental absolutely slaps, especially with this being a follow-up to Crescent from Treasure EP.FIN 3. So, why Crescent Part 2 now? And is it going to sound a lot like Crescent number 1? So let's listen. Ooh, is that the bluebird? Was this the ending of the music video? And those little flutes reminded me of Say My Name. This feels so soothing. Oh my goodness. So many callbacks in this. It's so comforting. It feels like you're in an oasis of some kind with the birds and the sound of the waves and then the the ship honking. It feels like you're on a peaceful vacation of some kind, but at the same time very cinematic. Yes, it was. Oh, interesting. So we're not getting a spoiler for the next title track here, which, I guess makes sense since this is the end of this chapter, and I don't think we got a preview on Zero Fever epilogue. But yeah, this is really hyping me up for the second half of the album. So I'll see you tomorrow for Dreamy Day, our unit songs, and then Finn Will. But for you, it'll be about 5 seconds.
One day later.
What? New hair and slightly worse makeup than yesterday. This was 100% the plan all along to represent the different dimensions of the ATEEZ universe and nothing to do with my poor planning skills. And I have yet another beverage of the day, a spinach, kale, apple, celery, lemon, and ginger juice, since I've been eating like garbage the past couple of days. This actually tastes better than you'd think it would. I feel like even Hongjoong would like this. So our next song here is now our final OT8 song, I think, of the album, which is Dreamy Day. So with Dreamy Day, have we now kind of ascended to this more paradise that was alluded to in Crescent, and they found their savior that they needed in Silverlight? I have a hard time thinking that Dreamy Day is going to be a depressing song, but let's listen and find out. Makes me think of like Mario, like a Mario game. Oh, I like these softer vocals. The ticklish words. I swear, Yuno is just absolutely crushing it vocally in this album. Oh. This Dreamy Day starts with you. Oh, that deep voice from Hongjoong. With the high harmony. The main character of my dream is only you for me. Oh, are they singing to ATEEZ here? Especially with things like, if I stand in front of you, it feels natural. And the pain that we hide so the other doesn't know, even if we don't say it, we're feeling it. Kind of like what I was talking about with the first part of this album, that I hope that they don't feel like a burden to hide how they feel about things because they don't want to, upset fans. The only thing more upsetting than the thought of them being sad is the thought of them hiding their sadness. And every time I want you by, you're here forever. And I hope this Dreamy Day doesn't wake up. This makes me think of, and especially the instrumental too, of, like the Illusion type of days, which is interesting considering Crescent was on the same album as Illusion. And that to finish off this series, they're kind of going back to previous ATEEZ vibes, and for a day or two, let's just leave it to be forgotten. It does very much give that era of escapism within ATEEZ's discography, but at the same time, I can't wake from it, and I keep deciding and coming to the conclusion that everything isn't a dream and that it's real. It's dizzying, confusing, but then also magnificent. I'm so happy for them that they've gotten to this place. Ooh, I like that line. Endurance, time, understanding bears pain. And I feel like it's really fitting for a line like this to be coming from Minky, because I think back to the time where, he took his hiatus to heal and recover, and because of that, he was able to come back stronger than ever, and none of us would have wanted him to push through that pain, and he is absolutely bloomed beautifully. So it's just like heartwarming. The courage to be able to get through it. Man, Wooyoung's jawline is just like cut glass jawline. I was not expecting this vibe at all from this album. Ooh. But it's funny because like listening to this song, I'm like, oh, this is so great, but immediately my brain goes to like, but what about when they enlist in the military? And I don't know why my brain does this to me. And now I feel like my brain's doing it to you. Oh no. And I know it's still years away at this point, but I'm not ready and I'll never be ready. I'm so sorry to rain on this parade. Let's go back to the happiness. such a happy, positive vibe. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, it was probably not since, you know, like Fever Epilogue that we got a track like this from ATEEZ, but it really feels like them wanting to live in the moment and kind of appreciate what it is that they have. Since, as the wise Joni Mitchell said, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? But it seems that they know what they have while they have it, which is nice. With this line of, here we're living in this moment in time because I'm right in front of you right now. And as much as you can get fulfillment out of trying to seek the next thing and reach the next goal and that sort of thing, I feel like the most fulfillment that you get in life is when you're able to appreciate just what you have. So I really hope that they get a lot of enjoyment and fulfillment out of being ATEEZ members, and that ATEEZ and the experience can make all the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears worth it. But I'm so excited now to be getting to our subunits, and especially to see the members in their writing chops too, because from what I could tell from the poster, all of these subunit members were involved in the writing process of each song, right? And our first subunit song is from MATZ, and it's called MATZ. So is this going to be kind of like about their friendship? And if I had to guess, I would say that this is going to be a hip-hop song or maybe even a rap song, because I feel like from what I remember, Seonghwa really likes rapping and wants to rap more. So if he was involved in a song, then he would have himself rapping. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm really, really excited to get to this and hear what they have to say. So let's listen to MATZ. Ooh. It's like an intense rap. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I can't even keep up. Ooh. It's kind of like giving the leaders vibes. The one who was originally quiet is the craziest. Isn't that how it always goes? You have to watch out for the quiet ones. And I feel like it's going by really quickly, so I'm gonna look at the lyrics a little bit more closely at the end, but that one cracked me up, so I had to stop. They're noisy every day. Ooh. Our chemistry explodes. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I just pictured them performing this. Like, how fun would it be to perform? Like, sorry. I need to stop talking over these songs. But how much fun would it be to see them perform this live? I feel like they do such a good job at just hyping the crowd up, but they're just some like fun sound effects and stuff I think I'm missing, so I backtracked a little. Oh, I'm just like so happy for Seonghwa getting to do his rap song. Numbers without origin just don't sell. Is that referring to like people leaking their phone numbers and that sort of thing? Oh, that drives me bonkers. Seriously, there's no easier way to grind my gears than to talk about idols' privacy getting invaded. Like, just leave them the fuck alone. But I could go on about that, and I won't right now because I don't want to get going. Huh. Doesn't even sound like Seonghwa. It sounds like he's almost taken on a new persona. Yeah, it's very much like the leaders. They must have had so much fun making this. I just want to drop it back now.
Drop that. We're going straight to the breaking news concerning the two men that disappeared after the fire set on stage due to arson. Where are they?
Ooh. He changed. Oh, Mom. Ooh, ooh. You'll be right back. Does that mean we can expect like more MATZ in the future? I hope so. But just like with Dreamy Day, I feel appreciative of just the MATZ that we have right now and just how much fun that was. I do want to go back and look a little bit more closely at some of the lyrics because they were just like whew, like whizzing by. So this line, MATZ like allergy, are they saying it doesn't fit? Are they saying that they are kind of like very different? Because I don't know, I guess in my head I didn't imagine Sunghwa and Hongjung to be that different, especially with both of them taking on like parental roles in the group of Sunghwa as the mom and Hongjung as the dad. I don't even know like what their MBTIs are. So a article by tadaland.net says Hongjung is INFP personality, good INFP compatibility. ENFP. Oh, hi, Hongjung. I'm an ENFP. And Sunghwa is ENFJ. Good. Hello, boys. So I guess they share 2 letters, which, you know, again, isn't super different. But on stage, it doesn't matter because their synergy reacts as if it's about to explode. And their personalities just explode on stage as well. They're restless, whack. They're noisy every day. They're dizzy, watch out. They're on fire. It's dangerous. And this line is confusing me. If you're going to hang the GPS of consciousness on the moon, it's not a carnival, but on the carrier. You can be busy too. If someone knows what that line means, definitely let me know in the comments. But when they mentioned, oh yeah, thrilling, oh mom, like who, Sunghwa? But I just love to see them living their best lives here. And oh my gosh, if they perform this album and do a tour, I will be the first one in line to buy a ticket because I cannot wait to see them perform this. I can just picture like fire cannons and stuff like lighting up the stage. I would like to see it. And their bad bitch energy just lighting up the stage. But next we've got the Yosang, San, and Wooyoung subunit with It's You. I really hope that we get to hear them express their vocal chops here because I feel like with 8 members, it's so hard to hear all of the members get to show what they have to offer with their vocal range. And when Choi Jongho is in your group, that also makes things difficult. So yeah, I really don't know what kind of like genre we're gonna get here, but I really hope to hear them just absolutely busting out those vocals. So let's listen to It's You. Kind of leadersy too, honestly. We're gonna take it slow. Ooh. I can feel it, your presence. Ugh. San. Excuse me. These lyrics, though, I don't want to stop. I like this like R&B feel to this. Ooh. Is this like a bedroom jam that I'm hearing right now? This song, oh my gosh. See, I was just like, oh, I was hoping for fantastic vocals, but it was just like, this is far exceeding my expectations, which was hard to do because my expectations were just like in heaven, having heard what I've heard so far from the three of them with their vocals. So this is just like blowing my mind. And then these lyrics too are just adding to the fire. Ooh. I don't even want to know what the choreography to this would look like. I have a feeling it would just like end all of us. Those background vocals though. I just want to like, I don't even know, but my eyelashes are sticking together. But I just like, here I am like a 31-year-old woman who's just like, especially over the fact that they wrote this song. Because like, I don't know if I'm way off base here, but it feels like hard to interpret it in another way. Literally from the first line, which I did not notice until now, being look at the way I ride. There's like dance day at night, keep the pace, footsteps, feeling right, move, but I'm not buying it. I don't think this song is about dancing. Maybe as like a seduction technique, if that's the connection we want to make here. Like, there's no end to my performance for you, and you and I are together, come and let's leave to our own world. And I feel like I could have guessed maybe that they would make a song like this, not just not really about the lyrics, but more so about the vibe of this song, knowing, you know, what kind of artists that the three of them like. And like I was saying before I heard the song, it's so nice to be able to hear them express their vocal chops and get a lot more lines to show those off, because clearly they've got them. And now these subunits are just making me want more. Like, I want more of these songs. Kind of like with Stray Kids albums now, for example, they'll have the dance racha, vocal racha, 3 racha subunits, and then 17 has their performance team, their hip hop team, their vocal team, and they tend to always have subunits. So I hope this is a trend that we've started here, because this is amazing. And I'm so happy for them that they each get their time in the spotlight with their own songs, kind of, except for in Jongho's case, which we'll get to. But before that, we're going to get to our Yoongi subunit with youth. At 31, I don't know if I still qualify as a youth, but I suppose age is all relative. And I'm curious if youth is going to talk about their friendship as well, or if we're going to get pretty much exactly what the song title suggests, and maybe enjoying your youth or embracing your youth, and what kind of genre this is going to be too, because we got kind of like a hip-hop song, rap, and then we had that R&B song. So could we maybe have something more upbeat and poppy, since I kind of am guessing that Jongho's song might be more of a ballad? I love to speculate, but I could always just so easily find out by just playing the song. So I'm gonna do that. Ooh. What did I do so wrong? What did you do wrong? What happened? Where's the place to rest? Oh no!
정답을 몰라 머리가 아파 오르는 청춘이란 그 한 단어에 슬픔을 기쁨이란 말하고 지금을 즐기라고 더 듣기 힘들 말만 나오고 있어. 그대는 그때를 즐기셨나요?
I thought this was gonna have a much like happier tone to it.
현실의 꿈을 실현하기에 난 너무 어려워 지금은 어려워 Say no 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 왜 이렇게 힘든 걸까요
It's very like introspective.
털어버리나요 왜 이렇게 힘든 걸까요 그렇게 잘못했나요 술 한잔에 털어버리나요
I feel like that could be a really difficult time, like your early 20s, of trying to figure out your identity and who you are. And where the place is to rest. And you do shine, you know. Oh. I do smile brightly when I see you. Oh my gosh, my heart is just kind of like broken. I just want to like reassure them that everything's gonna be okay, you know? Yeah, this is such an interesting song, and I feel like touches on something really important. And I don't know if it's the case with 20-year-olds now, but I remember when I was in my 20s, all the time people would say, oh, that your 20s are the best years of your life. And in a way, it felt like a lot of pressure, because it's like, so this is like as good as it's gonna get? And if I'm not having the best time ever, am I doing something wrong? Kind of like what Mingy's talking about. Like, what are you depressed or upset about? What do you have to be upset about when you're in your 20s and you have such little responsibility? But I'm telling you now, you have your 30s to look forward to, okay? I was always afraid of my 30s, but I feel like, obviously I'm only, 31, gonna be 32 soon, but I feel like I've been enjoying my 30s so far more than my 20s, because there's a lot less pressure than in my 20s of, doing university, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my career, finding the person that I would want to spend the rest of my life with, getting married, trying to like get into the housing market and buy a house. Like all of that is behind me now. So other than just like being slightly less good looking and having a bit more back pain, like 30, flirty, and thriving, honestly. But obviously, my experience is not universal, of course, but I do think my experience is kind of reflective of what they're talking about here, of that stage of trying to figure things out. I don't know the answer. My head hurts. Adults at that one word called youth. They're saying that sorrow is joy and to enjoy the present. They're only saying words that are harder to hear because you feel that pressure to be enjoying it because people tell you you should be. And it's that should that can start creating all this doubt of I should be happier. I should know what it is that I want to do with my life. I should know who I am. It's like, I didn't fucking know all those things when I was in my 20s. Hell no. And that is okay. So yeah, this song is just like really resonating with me because even though I'm not in my 20s anymore, like I get this because I was there. And it can be so easy. Like, what are you saying? I'm too young. It's hard now. It's almost like I feel like I have a teenager's mind inside of a adult body of I should be able to know these things and decide these things, but I can't. So clearly I'm just too young still, whatever that means. And as much as they might not feel like it, they're going to figure it out, and they can do so at whatever pace they want to. It's okay to be sad or depressed when you feel like you shouldn't be, because I could see that, like putting myself or trying as best as I could to put myself in their shoes of, you know, I'm incredibly successful K-pop idol. I have no right to be depressed or sad about anything. But that's not true at all, because we're human beings. We all get sad. It's a completely normal feeling. So I just want to hug them. I just want to comfort them and let them know that everything they're feeling is completely normal and completely valid. But okay, we have now reached our final subunit song, which isn't really a subunit because it's just Jongho, which is Everything. And I would bet a lot of money, okay, maybe not a lot of money, $5 Canadian dollars to a subscriber if this song is not a ballad. Because, you know, what better way to show off Jongho's vocal chops? Or, you know, like an OST type of song. I will never forget his performance in Love Poem. I think that is my favorite K-pop live performance, period, between him and Seungmin and Eunkwang. I just like, I watch that performance all the time, and it makes me wish that they could record it and put it on Spotify, because that would be like my #1 Spotify Wrapped song. So maybe we have a future Spotify Wrapped #1 for me here with Everything. So let's listen and see if I'm gonna owe somebody $5. Okay, I think I'm keeping my $5.
아무 생각 없이 집에 가는 길 주머니 속에 전화길 더듬거리다
I love the deep vocals.
환하게 웃는 지난 사진 속 날보다 또 집을 지나쳐 여기에 와 있는지 난 왜 단 한마디면 충분했는데 턱 밑까지 차올랐던 말
Oh, yeah, because he wrote this, right?
시간을 돌릴 수만 있다면 다시 너를 볼 수 있다면 그럴 수만 있다면
Oh my gosh. Who did he write this about? Someone he lost? No, no Jongho. Oh my gosh, who did he lose? I mean, it's none of my business, but... So beautiful. And you know that live it would sound even better. key change. I feel like physical pain, which I feel for him. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Oh my gosh. This was so stunning and so beautiful. Everything I thought that I would get from a Jongho song and more. And it just felt so heartfelt. Like it was really coming from the heart, knowing that he wrote this. But he just emotes those emotions. You know what I mean? You just can feel it so palpably in the way that he sings. From the soft moments to the powerful belting moments, which is just like the signature of an amazing vocalist. And it's also just something so relatable too, because, you know, we've all lost somebody that we care about and, you know, have regrets of, if I could just spend a little bit more time with you, if I could just tell you how much you mean to me. And I'm going to try to talk about this without getting choked up. I can already feel it coming. But my grandmother passed away in March, but she knew she was dying. Like her organs were slowly shutting down because she was 93, but she still had her wits about her throughout the process. So like I got to say goodbye to her. I got to tell her how much I loved her and how much she meant to me, but not everybody gets to do that. I'll never forget you for even a moment, for a second. Like only if I could see you again, only if I could do that, I'll make sure to tell you then. So yeah, so many people can relate to this song, and I hope Jongho that he's doing well, that this song was a way for him to let go of some of his grief and feel what he needs to feel. And just like, I just like thank you, Jongho, for sharing this song and for being so vulnerable with these lyrics. Just feel like privileged to have heard it. So I don't know how we transition now to Finn Will, but I'm pretty sure that we're getting like an outro instrumental here, because I tried to find a lyric video for this and didn't find one. So again, my guess is like with Crescent, it's an instrumental, but I saw that it's 3 minutes long. It's interesting to get a 3-minute instrumental track to close things out, because I don't know if an intro of theirs has been this long before. And is this going to give us any clues for what's next in ATEEZ? Let's close it out now with Finn Will.
What does emotion mean to you? Are you still tormented by the pain from the past?
Pain from the past.
Have you ever lost yourself in overwhelming fear? Have you ever felt so dumb that you wanted to be alone in this world?
Yes. To answer your question. So dreamy. Those hi-hats.
Have memories of happiness ever lifted you up? Have you ever been inspired by a dream that felt both far and clear? Have you ever found comfort in the laughter of children?
Oh, the sound of the water. It's like the pirate ship is back, like we saw at the end of the music video for Crazy Form.
What does emotion mean?
I could imagine this opening up a concert, you know? Setting the stage. but it feels very hopeful. Ooh. Makes me think of outro from M83, one of my favorite bands. Just feel so like uplifted right now. It's beautiful. Was that 3 minutes? Holy cow. That sped by. And it's really interesting because this doesn't feel like an end. It feels like a beginning. It feels like a transition into a new era for ATEEZ. And that's kind of like what this whole album felt like, honestly. Not just because of the subunits and potentially that being a sign of what's to come, but just like some of the choices stylistically throughout this album and some of the like genre hopping that was taking place as well. It feels like a taste of what we're going to get in the future and what's to come for ATEEZ. And if this is what we're getting in the future, like sign me up. I'm ecstatic. The subunit tracks were so great, not just in terms of the songs, but getting to hear the different members share what they feel like they need to share through song. Getting some Afrobeats vibes from Crazy Form and some Latin vibes from ARRIBA. And then in ways kind of pulling from some of their old songs too, with a song like Dreamy Day. But at the same time, all of these new things, it still feels like distinctly ATEEZ. And I feel like as much as I'm saying I'm excited for the future and what's to come with ATEEZ, we just got this 12-track album that I get to listen to for months and months. Just feel so spoiled with ATEEZ this year, getting this comeback so soon after EP2. So yeah, I can't wait to play the absolute crap out of this album and to see what ATEEZ has in store for the future. So friends, thank you for joining me for this reaction, this slightly unhinged reaction. And ATEEZ just has such a special place in my heart, and so does ATEEZ, because I feel like if ATEEZ weren't so welcoming and just all around great and wonderful people, then I don't know if I would have had my channel at all, because I kind of just made that first video wanting to get to know ATEEZ and thought, oh, you know, I could just kind of document my journey as I go, and if a couple of people watch, that would be fun. And now I'm here 2 years later, having completed ATEEZ's discography, going through their entire discography on my channel, and then also covering a whole whack of other artists as well. So I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I would love to hear from you if you've been someone who's been here from somewhat the beginning, like if you are watching my videos in November or December of 2021, because I don't know if I would be an ATEEZ if not for you and your kindness and your warmth, because as much as their music is amazing, it was all of you encouraging me to continue that made me want to dive deeper into this group and not just, you know, listen to the music, but also get to know them as members. So yes, would love to hear from you. And even if this is the first time you're watching my channel, would love to hear from you too, what you thought about this album, if you have any favorite tracks. I feel like it's way too hard. It's way too hard to pick a favorite when I've heard these 12 songs once. But until the next video, whenever that will be, I hope you're doing well, staying safe, taking care of yourself, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.